back. Erin, I'm going to get you in here for the CSK match today. It's a very interesting thing. The Super Chennai Super Kings versus the Capitals here. Well, KL Rahul versus Khaleel Ahmed. These are the rivalries that when we are looking from the informed pacer of the CSK. He's got the swing, he's got the pace, he's got the deception, he's got the left arm. Do you think he's going to pose some problem when you look at head to head between KL Rahul and Khalil Ahmed? Again, Shivam Dube versus Kuldeep Yadav is another mouth-watering contest. Your views on that, Aaron?
Yeah, talking about Khalil Ahmed, no doubts, he's a fabulous bowler. With the new ball in hand, he'll swing it around. He has done lots of good work in the past as well. But if you talk about this season and the form that CSK in, we do have that little bit of doubt whether how they could come out positively, especially if you talk about KL Rahul, the innings that he played the other day, a fabulous knock, really guided the team from the top and alongside with Patum Nisanka. So they got that partnership going on. So this is going to be a huge threat for Chennai Super Kings at the start of the innings because KL Rahul was out of touch kind of for the first few games, but he's back in form. Patum Nisanka is on form. So these two opening batters are definitely going to trouble
In the
Khalida.
CSK camp, Aaron, I'm going to stop you here. In the CSK camp, Sri Lankans haven't made a big impact. Does that bother you? Or are you just waiting for a big performance around the corner?
Oh well, yeah, I would love to definitely see CSK bounce back because they are coming back and playing this game here at their home. So if you take a step back and look at the stats head to head in the last 8 games, DC have managed to win only one game against CSK. So CSK have been dominating against DC for the past few games. I mean, in fact, 8 games. So, but this season is completely different because we cannot bring in these stats. The start that CSK have got to this tournament. They have lost all 3 games. They're yet to find that team balance at the start and even the middle order. They haven't really fired. But I believe DC have really got things under control. Very unfortunate though in the last game against the run of play, they lost the game. Yes, but they are well in track. And just to answer your question about Shivam Dube and Kuldeep Yadav, yes, I believe Shivam Dube has struggled a little bit against Spain. So that's going to be a good contest. And once again, that game pressure and with the situation that CSK are currently in, I feel that Kuldeep Yadav might have that touch ahead of Shivam Dube in this game today.
Well, absolutely. David Brooks, we'll take a step back and talk about Sanju Samson, the man, the enigma, and someone who's not got enough chances for India. When was the last? What comes to your mind when you see a talent like Sanju Samson, who's performed all across, hasn't got the due respect, shall or the statistics or the matches that he's got at the international level playing for India? Which is the player comes closest, or he's very unique in that?
Well, it's yeah. One asks about his consistency. You know, coming off the back of his performances in the World Cup, the expectations were very high, weren't they? So far, he hasn't delivered. In terms of who he reminds me of, well, there's been a few sort of opening bats I can think of. I mean, in terms of the white ball, there's something of the Joss Butler about the way that he plays. He's probably better bat than Joss Butler. The sky's the limit for Sanson. I just think everyone must be disappointed by the way he started this tournament, and I guess the pressure builds up. He should be having mastered the international attacks. He should be hitting his straps now. Will we see though the first appearance today of Mitchell Starc in the Delhi Capitals? The expectation is that he will be playing, and that will be a test for any opening bat. Whether it's Samson, Gaekwad, if Mitchell Starc is in that lineup today, bowling, swinging the ball at pace, that will be a real test.
Well, absolutely. Mitchell Stark goes in there. You also have Dewald Brovis versus Giri. That's another thing. And then we'll come on to the last part of David. This is for you, of course, Brevis, Mitchell Stark, and Nagiri. Then we'll come on to the last section. Where is your money and where is your winning formula today? Which team? Over to you, David.
Well, in terms of Ngidi, he's been obviously uh, uh, very impressive in this tournament. In terms of the most impressive of the South Africans, um, as Aaron was saying, David Miller's misjudgment in the that last game for Delhi Capitals. That, I always think that was the biggest South African misjudgment since Sean Pollock failed to get the Duckworth Lewis right in that famous World Cup game when he got that wrong. It was astonishing that Miller turned down that single, and I know that he'll want to sort of repay the damage that he caused. I know he took that really badly, didn't he? But otherwise, it was impressive from Delhi Capitals. So yeah, with Ngidi and Mitchell's performance of Mitchell Stark, with Kuldeep and Aksar, if this pitch is taking spin, they look too strong. But I know we're about to talk about predictions for this match.
What is your prediction, David? Where would you put your money in?
Well, I would put my money on Delhi Capitals. It wouldn't get much back though, because they are the firm favourites. As Aaron said, the historical stats would be against them, but on current form and with their bowling lineup that they've got this year, you'd have to put them as favourites.
Well, absolutely. Aaron, does it bother you? A match against CSK, which were once one of the biggest teams in this IPL and perhaps on this earth when it comes to the cricket following, and they've completely languished themselves. Does it hurt and bother and pinch you, especially when you also have a soft corner for CSK?
Yeah, I have been a CSK supporter since past, since Muralidharan was playing. I mean, long time back, like 15, 16 years back. I have been a fan of CSK for a very long time. And it really hurts, to be very honest. Like, even few years back, they ended up at the last spot of the table. And I'm just having that doubt whether it's going to happen again this year, looking at their combination and how they struggled at the start of their innings. And there has no flow being throughout the innings as well. The bowlers haven't stood up. But speaking all of this, being the home side today and looking at the past stats, I just feel I have a slightest edge that today's the day for CSK. I'm putting my money on CSK today because I would call it's a do or die for them. They need to win this game to stay alive in the tournament. But too early though. But still, to get the momentum shifted towards their side, they need to win this game. So it's a do or die for them. I believe they might bring out their best game out today.
Well, their backs against the wall. They might just bring on one of the classiest performance. Let's hope they, take a leaf out of their past experience and the winnability factor. Toss Resmi, you've got nothing to lose. Mumbai is not playing. You've got two of the big enemies of Mumbai Indians. Who would you still support, and where's your money?
The most interesting part is if CSK has lost three back-to-back games, Delhi hasn't done really great. I mean, they have whatever games they have won is because of Samir Rizvi. So two back-to-back games, and out of this, he delivered when situations were against the tides were against Delhi. But then I still think that Delhi is yet to convince with their performances, and again winning on that two particular knocks shows that they still haven't doesn't have that particular a good confidence in themselves. So somewhere or the other, I think CSK playing at home, CSK will be at an advantage, and I believe I'm a big believer in law of averages. So somewhere or the other, CSK would bounce back in for this season at least against the league capitals.
Well, absolutely. That was one Rizvi journalist talking about and favoring another Rizvi cricketer who's from Delhi. But again, nothing more to write much about this contest because both the teams haven't done brilliantly or done justice to the lineup that we've had. I thank all three of my guests who've joined us from all different parts of the world. Thankfully, this is the biggest panel that we've had on your daily show, Cricketer. That's all we have time for. Don't go anywhere else. We'll be back after a short commercial break. Stay tuned.